This is a video for how to go about creating an animated exploded view for your woodblock assembly in Activity 2.1.4 for your Introduction to Engineering Design class. You'll notice on the screen that I have a woodblock assembly with our rectangular prism, our cylinder, our triangle, and our little bridge shape that I got down here in red. Now what we want to do is we want to take this apart in an animation, what we would call an exploded view, so we can place it on a drawing sheet and place some balloons and partslets on it and things like that. In order to get to create an animation, we need to go to the animation menu. We need to click on design in the top left and go to animation. And I want you to notice that automatically mine is exploded. I've created an exploded view before. I think Fusion kind of said, this is what we kind of see that you're going to do or where you're headed. So it automatically created that exploded view for me. In the top left-hand corner, I'm going to create a new storyboard, and what Fusion already did is it said we already see that you have something going on, so they created an animation timeline for me. If I'm like, I don't really like that animation timeline, I can click on storyboard, and it says storyboard type clean, and I'm going to say OK, and automatically everything comes back together for me. If by chance yours didn't auto explode, that's fine. We'll just kind of start from this point. And in order for me to take apart the components in a way that I would want to take them apart, I would need to go up to the transform menu up here at the top, and the first icon we're going to use is the transform components function. So I'm going to click on transform components, and the first one I'm going to click on is our rectangular prism in green. And notice that it gives me arrows that are just like our X, Y, or Z axis. I can even rotate the component if I wish, but there's no real need to rotate the component within this video or within this animation. What I want to do is I just want to drag mine out to the side here. Just drag it off just a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy and drag it too far away. And over in our Transform Components menu on the right-hand side, I want to check trail line visibility. I want that line to show up because it kind of shows exactly the axis or the path that form would follow in order to go back to the assembly. You'll also see up here it talks about what axis it traveled on and also the distance that it traveled on. So if I said, 3.5 is too far, I think I want to go back to just 2.5. It'll automatically adjust for me. We're going to say OK. Next function, we're going to go to transform components again, but we're going to click on our cylinder, and we're going to say the cylinder is going to go up, and we can drag straight up. We can also go in this area here and put in an exact number. So if we had an exact number like 3.75 or something like that, I can drag that in. I want to make sure I say trail line visibility again because we can see the path that it's going to follow, and I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Last one we'll do is going to be our triangle, and we're going to click on transform components, click on the triangle. We're just going to go ahead and drag that out a little bit from the side. I like to drag these out depending on how many parts we have. We only have 4 total parts here. If we had something that had like 35 parts, I would drag things out in a much different order. There's a selfie stick video I have. That's a lot different process of creating an exploded view. But we have so few parts. I like to just leave just a little bit of daylight between the parts so we can kind of see, this kind of white design space out here. And I'm going to drag this out and go to trail line visibility again. And we're going to say OK. And now you'll see what you saw at the beginning of the video, but we made ours manually. And down here at the bottom of the screen, it's a little bit off video for me, but down at the very, very bottom of your screen, you're going to see that play button like you would see to press play, for some kind of a streaming app or to play music, and it's just a little black triangle. And click on that black triangle and you're going to see everything slowly start to come apart. It's pretty cool. So down here at the bottom, you're going to see, I don't get too much into this in this video, but you can see just over time, everything came apart, like in a second. We can drag these over a little bit, and we can make this go a little bit slower. We can, make the time be different. You can see this go across here, and it slowly starts to come apart at a different pace instead of all of a sudden and all at 1 second. You can drag these over as you wish. I can press pause. A lot of different things we can do with that. That has a little bit more to do with making an animated movie, which I'll talk about here in a second. But if you wanted this to be a little bit more, streamlined, we can change the timing that things come apart. Now, to the right of the Transform Components button, you'll see Auto Explode All Levels. And what Auto Explode means is it'll automatically take these apart for you. Now that can seem convenient for large assemblies, but for smaller assemblies, I like to have a little bit more control with the Transform Components button. It allows me to manually do that. We're not going to get into show and hide components or anything yet, but what I did say earlier is if we want to actually create a video of what we have, we can click on Publish and go to Publish Video. When you go to Publish Video, you can say the current storyboard or a different storyboard. So let's say we went up like we did at the beginning of the video and you said, I took this apart this way. I want another storyboard. You can make as many storyboards as you want. You can go in and put in the aspect ratio, the size of the videos, think about what you want for width and height and things, and you can go ahead and say OK. And once you say OK, it's going to say what type of a video do you want? Do you want an AVI file? I forgot, I was thinking they did .mov files, but they don't. It's just an AVI file, and you can go ahead and save that to your computer. You can save it wherever you wish, and it'll create a nice video for you. That's kind of cool if you want to keep it, because you might not have Fusion loaded and you want to show somebody your assembly. You can just send them a video that anybody could open. So this has been a video for how to go about creating an animated exploded view of your woodblock assembly for activity 2.1.4 for your Introduction to Engineering Design class.